All righty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. Another green day today. The market had another chance to sell, and what happened? It got dragged up by the buyers yet again. The market keeps getting the opportunity to sell, and it does not want to do so. I do think we're going to see SPY and QQ up at new all-time highs probably by next week. SPY looks like this. You're $4 away from all-time highs. QQQ, you're $10 away from all-time highs. But if we close out the week strong tomorrow, guys, we're probably gonna extend our way up here to 539.15, new all-time high next week. Okay, go back over here to SPY. You guys, you broke out that downtrend. You broke up to a new all-time high, and then you've been, what looks to me like, this bullish consolidation here. You have this little flag action going on. At some point, this is probably going to break to the upside here in the short term, and we're going to start that next leg up. All right, so that's the bias that I am, going to be really viewing these charts through. That is the lens. Downside support 605.36, 602.13, 599.70, and 597.75. On the upside, as your resistance, we'll come over the hourly for this one. Right over here, we have 608.15. All right, touch point, and then we have 610.78. Coming over here to QQQ. Very similar look to SPY, guys, with what's going on here. You broke a little downtrend. You can actually see it very clear over here on NQ. Yeah, so if you're just going to take that, all right, and then you take something like that, however you really want to draw that thing out, okay? Retest the previous highs over here and just kind of put in whatever that thing is, okay? Not bearish, though. Not bearish in the slightest over here. Come back over here to QQQ. All right. Still got the inverse head and shoulders kind of structure going on here. Resistance, and keep in mind, closed out here at the highs. Again, keeps getting the chance to sell and does not want to do so. All these dips are getting eaten. Upside resistance 531.24, 533.82, and 539.15. On the downside of support, you have 528.15, 525.97, 523, big level right there, and then 520.85. Coming over here to IWM. Another day, another dollar over here for IWM. You did come up here, tap that 230.55 resistance. You have a 230.70 being your high of day today. Rejected 230.55 resistance, but you did get that nice lower wick going on off of 228.04 support. All right, support is 228.04, 226.64, and then 224.66. Resistance 230.55. Above there, you have nothing until 233.40, and above there 235.92. Coming over here to DIA. It is only a matter of time until this finds its way back up to a new all-time high. We can see it's bullish here on the weekly and daily time frame, just like SPY and QQ. I could very clearly see this thing going to all-time highs next week. I don't think we're going to have another pullback here before that happens. Maybe you consolidate for another trading session or so here, but it's likely that you are going to take out 451.55. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Support is 444.87. Resistance is 451.55. Coming over to VIX, guys, you did close out with a nice lower wick here on the day, right around our 1571 support over here. This is where I thought, when we were up here, this is where I thought we were going to start coming down to. And if we lost 1806, that is how this went. And as we could see, we could really just take that out there. We got the volatility spike we were looking for. But, as we could see, we're back down to the bottom over here, guys. Volatility was clearly being sold. Once you get the spike and then it starts selling, it's typically the end of that spike. That's just how the VIX works. All right, let's go over the Mag 7 stocks. All right, we'll kick it off here with NVIDIA. I'll just hit this for us.
That was easy.
That was easy, guys. If you were a buyer down here around 120 with me, if you were a buyer down here around 114, 115 with me, Guys, please be taking your profits off as we hit the target. If you are in March calls and you were a buyer down here, you're up 70-80% by the time you come up here. Okay, if you bought over here, it's a pretty similar scenario there. You're still up, 60+% there. You were in April calls, you're up like 50% here. Okay, 50% plus. Be smart about things. Okay, you don't have to risk things for the biscuit. You're coming into the short-term daily moving averages. I know it looks really strong, but this was the plan all along. This was the free money, payday here. We called out when you came down and hit that. You hit that, we had that one right there. You hit that, we had that one right here. You hit that one, we had that one over there. Excuse-moi. As you see, we're now in that supply zone. So until price can get above 131.26 and get a daily close above there, I would be cautious as price comes right back into where we had long-term, bounces coming out of. And now we have, sold underneath that, gapped underneath it, found sellers there 1, twice, 3 times now. Is it going to happen a fourth? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But above 131.26, we have nothing until 137.85. That is where, coming from here all the way to the low over here. All right, this is going to be your golden pocket retracement, 0.618 Fibonacci retracement right there, 0.786 Fib right there. Come over here to Goog. All right, Goog is finding buyers for the second day in a row here, down at the previous all-time high demand zone. All right, buyers, and more buyers. You're probably going to hold this, I pointed out. All right, on yesterday's video, 4-hour RSI is right here, where we have been bouncing back, and prices down at that area it's been bouncing back from. So these are, we're probably going to be bouncing back from this. We're going to have to see if we can get it back above 198.16, or if that's just going to be met with rejection there. No idea. Amazon, star of the show today, crapped the bed over here. I do think this is probably going to continue being bought. We are still in the uptrend. I think this dip is likely to be bought. I can't tell you if it gets bought up right away tomorrow morning. I really can't. We have seen some straight up vertical action out of Amazon over here on big gap downs. All right, this specifically over here was a 4% gap down, and boom. All right, you had a $9 intraday move. I'm not saying it's going to happen. You're currently at 229 in the after hours, but I will point out you're gapping down, right? 229 is right over here, right around the weekly 21, not weekly 21, the weekly 9 EMA here. That's where buyers stepped in here. That's where buyers stepped in here. That's where buyers stepped in over here. That's where they stepped in all along over here. Chances are you're going to find buyers there. Okay, so I want, everyone to keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, this was your fresh move out of consolidation here to new highs. You're now pulling back into the consolidation right here, 229. Chances are this is met with buyers. You can also do something like this and take the retracement. If price does not hold up right here at 229, you probably come down here to 226.51 in support intraday over here. And at that point, you probably find buyers and then start making your way back up. No matter what, how this goes in the short term, I'm pretty confident you're going to make your way back up here. We have a bullish monthly chart. Okay. We have a bullish weekly chart. Okay. Daily chart is still intact. Still looks good to me. You're gapping down right here. All right. You just broke out of this consolidation. You barely moved off of that. Things don't go straight up as long as you don't violate this low over here, which, if we even come over here, did you violate the low? No, you did not. You did not violate this low over here. So it is looking good to me. That's Amazon. Apple over here, guys. I do think this is going to be getting movement in the upward direction. You are now consolidating around the short-term moving averages here in a bullish manner. 4 days in a row. All right. You held the golden pocket. This is where the buyers are stemming from. You're right here, right underneath the short-term moving average over here on the daily time frame. It is likely that those are about to break. All right. So, above those, we're watching 237.23 and then 240.79. Then we have 247.33. Went over Tesla, guys. This is something right here. I'm going to put the 4 trade ideas here at the end of the video on your radar. Tesla is one of the big ones. All right. And these trade ideas, these are the ones that I'm focused on right here, right now. All right. I gave you the last big trade idea. It was NVIDIA. I'm telling you right now, Tesla is about to have its time. All right. I think we saw the short-term bottom get put in today. You see these 2 pats. This is what I gave, the Discord members earlier today. I thought it was going to be one or the other. I also told you about these right here. I told you about it in yesterday's video. It's going to be one of the other guys. You're going to get buyers step in right down here where they are. All right. I drew this arrow when price was literally coming right down here to 358.64 right in the morning. All right. It was around 365. Guess what? Buyers end up stepping in here, and it looks like you want to follow this path over here. You want to test this trend line here in the coming days. You want to get above 400 again. You get above 400. All right, that psych level. You have this gap around there. You're going to be back up near this trend line. You get up above 400, then you clear 414.50. At that point, you're probably starting your move back up to all-time highs. Remember, guys, weekly break and retest off of previous all-time highs is probably going to result in buyers taking this up to a new high. We just had a new all-time high here. This is all bullish consolidation, considering we had a straight-up vertical move here. And now you have this controlled selling down here. Okay? Worst case scenario, you get one more move like that, one more shove down here, gets really, really tight, and then you go like this. All right, so we got 3 paths. You got to see what happens on this move up. I think you're going to test this trend line up here around 400. Excuse me, I get the hiccups. But you got to see what happens there. If you could break above 414.50, this thing is probably going to start moving back up. But if this 358.64 level is violated at that point, you're probably going to be taken right down here to around 320, which is the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level from this whole move over here, which can be seen here on the weekly time frame, vertical. All right, so that's Tesla. I do think it's about to be bought up. I think we saw a short-term bottom get put in, and those are my opinions. Okay. Over here on Microsoft, floppy guy over here found buyers off of the 405.57, 410.29 demand zone. All right, and we got above 414.85. That left nothing between here and 420.69. We did not get up there today. You found sellers before that today. You do have the daily 9 catching up with the price. We'll see what happens tomorrow. You want to really just get back above it. Now, I'll put trade ideas pretty consistently here. I'll always be pounding the table on one on this channel. I'm telling you right now, Microsoft is not one of those guys. It's just not. Right now, it died off earnings. We're stuck in consolidation here. There's nothing really telling you, like, there's not a setup here. It's a support play. That's about it. It could be a dead cat bounce. It could be something bigger. You don't know. There's no setup here. No financial advice on this channel, but, if I had to give advice, don't be trading Microsoft right now. There's nothing on it. Meta over here, guys. I think you could pull back. You could start consolidating. And then from that point, you could push up to new all-time high. You are finding sellers here continuously for the second day in a row here. I will not be surprised if you pull back to either the daily 9 here, okay, which would be around 675.25. You either do something like that, 675 to 680-ish, or you pull back all the way to the 21 down over here. And I don't know exactly how this consolidation is going to really take the form. It could really take some time, like something like this. But I do think we are probably going to start that consolidation here over on Meta. Honestly, the things I would be trading right now, I point out NVIDIA, it's time to start taking the profits. But you got Amazon over here looking really nice. I know you're gapping down right now, but this is the buying opportunity, in my personal opinion. You can even just look at the 4-hour RSI. Most of the times you get back down here, you start finding buyers. And if not right here, it's going to be down here. Okay? Be patient on it, and it'll be patient with you. Okay? Be patient on it, and it'll be patient with your money. There you go. It'll give your money a big old fat kiss. Big fat kiss. All right? But honestly, I'd be trading Amazon over there. I'd say Goog is probably going to be getting that bounce up to 198.16. Other than that, guys, out of the Mag 7s, Tesla. Okay? We're talking Tesla, we're talking Amazon, but really Tesla over there. This is the Mag 7 setup right now that I do think can pay. Like, this is the one that is probably, you know, it's been beaten down. It hasn't been moving with everything else. Just wait for it to start moving again. It's going to start leading the way. That's the one I'm personally waiting on. All right. We are just going to actually touch up on Avgo over here. Out of all the chip stocks, I don't really see a need to, you know, really talk about the other ones here. Avgo, guys, dips are buying opportunities. Dips into the short-term moving averages shall remain buying opportunities. 226.80 is your support. If you can break above yesterday's high at 237.93, you're probably going to start your way up, start that move up to 251.88. All right. So that is that. Now I'm going to talk about these trade ideas right here. So first one I put on your radar, Tesla, guys. All right. So I guess we'll start at you know, number one over here, Tesla. You put in the hammer candlestick today, right off in the golden pocket, right, you know, near the point, not off the 0.786 fib, but right near the 0.786 fib is the daily RSI. You know, at low of day, it was coming all the way down here to this line over here. That's why I have it marked out here. I was thinking you were going to close out low of day and start bouncing back tomorrow, maybe. But we'll see how that really goes. Your 4-hour RSI was coming down into oversold territory. So, you know, I do think downside is either limited over here or you're going to start bouncing back from where you are right here. Okay. This 4-hour chart right here looks pretty phenomenal. The daily chart also looks pretty phenomenal right here. Tell me where you see you print that thing and then you go lower right away. It just doesn't really happen. You typically are going to get that $10 to $20 bounce here at least. And guys, March contracts, you get a $25 bounce. Okay, you see 375. You buy your March cons right here, the 400C. See them run in the money this next week. Guys, they're up 70 to 90%. I can't tell you how much those contracts are going to pump up, but we'll just say 70 to 90%. You don't need a big move. They have been beaten down. I think now it's time to load up cheap. All right, it was a disappointment. It's been a big fat disappointment to me and probably a lot of others for a little while now. Okay, you know, it made our end of the year. Okay, end of the year over here, it made it. Okay, but then to start off the year, oh, this thing's been full of tricks. But I do think it is starting to turn around. So it's time to start paying attention. ASTS is the next one I'm going to point out here. This is an explosive weekly chart. This is a daily chart that we can clearly just see today just broke out of this uptrend right here. You got this little fallen wedge / bull flag pennant, pulled back into previous all-time highs, consolidated right around it for literally months. Okay, 5 months here, 5 months. Just broke out here on the daily time frame. If we see the weekly close above this upper trend line tomorrow, this thing is probably going to be pushing new all-time highs over the coming weeks. Coming 1 to 2 weeks, 39.08. From here, your two paths are this. Then you consolidate and then you make your way up, or you are just going to continue up and then pull back at some point and then go something like that. Okay. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to play out, but holy cow, this thing is finally starting to move and it's happened in a big way. We could see this week alone. All right. We're talking a 50% move. That's pretty insane to me. Pretty nuts to me, 40%. So there we go. Trade idea number 2. Number 3, what do we have, guys? We have Netflix. We have the net to the thieves. All right. Netflix over here, guys, just started breaking out. It is in breakout mode. It is probably going to be having a few days of going vertical. These are $10 to $20 moves. Options are probably going to continue. Calls are probably going to continue paying over here. Short-term calls. All right. And I do think you are able to catch a decent swing over here on Netflix. Okay. So that is that guy number there. There is number 3. Now we're talking number 4, guys. MCD, McDonald's. All right. And out of all of them, I like this one the least. All right. I got a 5th one for us. Okay. There's actually there's kind of a 6th. There's actually kind of a few here. Okay. There are a few. We'll talk about it. Over here, MCD over here just broke out today from this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Probably is going to be continuing out. The only caveat here is you literally have earnings right around the corner. So earnings is probably going to be the thing that gives this thing to move up. Just keep that one in mind. Okay. All right. Next one we're going to take a look at here. Oklo. Yeah, I got a few guys. Oklo pulling back into 43.70. Probably going to find buyers off of there and continue higher. We'll see how this goes. But idea is to buy 43.70, sell up near 53 bucks, 52.99, current all-time high. All right, guys. Now I'm going to point out Costco over here. I think you are going to start pulling back. You just broke out the new all-time highs. The pullback is going to be a clear as day buying opportunity. I don't know if it's going to come all the way back there, but it clear as day is. So if we get it, ladies and gents, do not sleep on it. Next one. Hims. All right, Hims, guys. I do think we are getting this pullback. I really hope we get this pullback. I don't know if it's going to happen all in one day. I really don't think you're just going to see a 15% drop on Hims in one day. I don't with how it's been behaving, just impulsively getting bought here, but it can happen. We'll see how it goes. All right, we will see how it goes. I got my alert set for around 36 bucks, 36.50. If 35.02 is retested, guys, oh my God. Picture perfect break and retest. You had a picture perfect break and retest off of the previous all-time highs over here. It was actually also the highs over here. And then you ascend into the heavens. If you have that same setup on a smaller scale, it is very likely that that is going to pay again. All right. So that is that. I'm going to just point out Roblox over here. Sold off, got bought up, is probably about to drag itself back up to highs. And the last trade idea I have for you guys is Uber. All right, which I think I'm going to be taking a position on tomorrow. Uber over here on the weekly chart, it's starting to turn around. I want to see a strong close tomorrow. And at that point, I think over the next 1 to 2 weeks, we can start pushing up here to the golden pocket, which is around 76.40. All right, so on the daily time frame, we finally did. All right, we got the daily close over here as a fake out. You fell off of earnings, and then adds, well, in the morning. Okay, yeah, so it was in the morning over here. You fell off of earnings. You got bought up literally the following day and had an 8.5% day. You now have a new closing high over here. You got back above 68.84. From this point, guys, I do think this thing is about to start heading to 73.55 in the short term. I already checked it out. I did the DD for us. March calls, see a $5 move. There's the 80 to 90% gain. There you go. 75C. That is, you know, what you're going to be playing over here. And you don't have to play it, but, you know, this is, I will gladly share the game plans, okay? And, you know, the thesis is on all of these different things. All right, guys, so that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got a lot of covered here in 23 minutes. And why? Because I think we left out the Bitcoin stocks and the semiconductor stocks. And unless some crazy stuff goes on in those two sectors there, I'm probably going to start leaving them out just because I don't think it's, you know, really beneficial here to include them every single video. Maybe it helps a few people, but it's not helping the vast majority because there's not a lot of action in them a lot of times. They got to set up and then we can talk about them. Whereas the Mag 7 stocks, all right, the indices, these trade ideas, they're always up and running. They're moving and grooving. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this very short video. I appreciate you guys, appreciate the support. If you want to come trade with me, link is going to be down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of their night and peace.